Let's first send it to Kevin Kugler, who is standing by with Kevin Larkins.
Running in the IMCA Modified tonight, Kevin Larkins, who is the point champion of the IMCAs this season. Congratulations on that first off.
Thank you very much.
Now, Kevin, interesting story about your point championship. How many races have you won this year?
Out here, I ain't won any.
Now, yet you're still the point champion. You have you've won no feature races here, yet you're the point champion. How's that work?
Well, I run a bunch of seconds, and there's only 2 points difference between first and second, so we consistently were there, but we just didn't pull one off yet. We got a chance yet tonight, though.
Now, Kevin, what kinds of things are we going to see tonight in the IMCA Modified field?
Well, it looks like we got a whole bunch more cars here than normal. A bunch of new guys here. I think we got enough race cars here. Track ought to slick off and should make for a good feature.
Now, Kevin, we've been talking about a dry, slick track tonight with a lot of the drivers. They seem concerned about that. Is that a concern of yours as well?
No, the drier it gets, the better I like it. That kind of evens things out. You don't have to have a lot of motor to win that deal.
Obviously, as points champion here, you've got to be pretty pleased with how the season has gone so far. Tell us a little bit about how the season's gone for you guys.
Well, I've had a really good year all the way around. I've won about 10 features. I think I'm going to end up like second in our region and probably 8th or so in the nation as far as points go. I won 3 track championships. It ain't been that bad a year, I guess.
Now, Kevin, you're from right here in Greenwood. What's it like having a track like this in your backyard?
Well, it's awful handy. It don't take long to get here, and it don't take long to get home afterwards.
Kevin Larkins, the point champion in the IMCA Modifieds. Congratulations on that, Kevin, and have a good race tonight.
Thank you.
Kevin Larkins driving the 1L car in our Modified A feature.
He'll be starting in the 11th position tonight, and he's got a good shot. This may be his night to finally win an A feature here at I80 Speedway and cap off a great year of racing for him and for that points championship.
Here are the results of our ARCA late model B feature. It was a 360 sprints, actually. Bruce Divis is our winner. Dennis Parker in the 38 car, finishing in second place. Seth Bramer in the 26, Jason Danley in the 4J, and Dean Brown in the 69.
Of course, all those drivers there will advance transfer to the A feature, and we'll see them again a little later. Looks like we've got one more lap before we start the modified A feature. 20 laps scheduled, may go 15.
They had 30 entries in the modifieds tonight. And oftentimes it depends on whether they're at the program, whether it's a 15-lap feature or a 20-lap feature.
It's all a matter of time. Yellow light still up in the turn 3 and turn 1, so it looks like we're going to try and get the field correctly lined up for the A feature.
Sean Dean in the 6S, Gary Zidane in the 10Z. Pace car bringing them down side by side along the backstretch. It's interesting, Kevin mentioned in that interview with Kevin Kugler, he likes it when it's packed, when the track is hard. So many guys have so many different styles of racing and the way they like the track conditions to be.
Absolutely. What happens on a dry slick track, your engines don't have to work as hard as if it was a dry tacky track, and the wheels are spinning a lot more, and it pretty much brings out the driver finesse that gets the driver to the front of the track. So it kind of separates the men from the boys, so to speak, in terms of racing.
Got to be a great driver on a dirt track when you get the track packed down like that. Larkin's obviously an outstanding talent.
Always consistent.
He's got the points championship, but you know he'd like to get a race win to cap off a great year, like you said.
That elusive A feature win he's looking for tonight, but he's got a lot of great drivers in front of him. Of course, from Beatrice, Johnny the Jet Sadoff in car number 96, always a hard guy to get around. He'll be starting in the, looks like the 4th position.
The 6S car, as I mentioned, that's Sean Dean. Right alongside the 10Z car of Gary Zidane. And they've got the green flag. They're racing here at I-80. And it's the 6S car of Sean Dean with the early lead. Going high is Zidane. Zidane in the red 10Z car. Now they're 3 wide on the backstretch. And Zidane says, I'll have nothing of that. Now we've got Dean spinning. And look at him get around contact in the back of the field. We'll have the yellow flag come out. Cars everywhere on the opening lap of our modified A feature.
What's going to happen now is going to have a total restart. They'll reline up the cars since we did not get one full lap completed. So we'll be looking forward to a total restart of the cars, of course, that don't have any damage to them.
The red car is the 10Z car of Gary Zidane, and he is right there against the wall. The spinning car, the car getting out of control, that's Sean Dean in the 6S. He's the one that started on the pole, and you see him getting now backwards on the track. This is incredible that we didn't have any more contact than we did, but we had some guys in the back of the pack, obviously, who couldn't avoid each other, but really this could have been a lot worse than what really ended up. Absolutely.
Pretty much everybody may be able to get back in this race. I didn't see any major damage or contact, so if that's the case, looks like we'll have a full field restart. And actually, the guys doing the bumping and banging may be right back in the front again. So always exciting starting when they kind of put the invert the field there. So that's what we're looking at tonight, a total restart. That looks to be the case.
Well, Gary Zidane got a terrific jump going into turn number 2, going high side by side with Dean. It really showed a lot of power going into the backstretch, kind of flew by, and that's when Dean got a little out of control.
Right, just got away from him just a little bit, and when one guy's spinning, you don't know if they're going to recover or not, and that just causes kind of like a chain reaction.
Well, they're not going to allow Sean Dean to move back into the pole position where he started. He is moving to the back of the pack, and they're going to bunch him up differently. Zidane will maintain that outside spot in row number 1. The 93 car now of Dave Vogt slides into that pole spot. And you mentioned a moment ago the invert position. Now that can really change the outcome of a race. Instead of having the power cars up front, they get caught into an invert, they move back to the pack. That really makes for some great racing.
Right, what they try to do is keep it fair. Not everybody has the big bucks to put in their engine. So normally at an A feature, you'll see the points leaders and the strong drivers starting about midway, and it puts just kind of shuffle the field around to give everybody a chance to get a good starting position at least every week. So it just kind of keeps it nice and strong and fair.
And if you're going to win it, you got to earn it. That's the bottom line.
Absolutely. Makes for great racing when they do it that way.
Zidane in the 10Z, the 93 car of Dave Vogt. Behind them, the 17 of Brian Phillips. They're going to see the green flag as they get out of turn number 4. And here we go, racing at I-80 once again. Modified A feature. Clean going into turn number 1. 3 across. Johnny the Jet Satoff in the 96 car sliding high and trying to pick up spots. And he's moved his car into 3rd, and he's making a challenge on Vogt for 2nd place. And he'll split the difference, and Satoff may come out of this with a lead.
Absolutely.
We've got another spin out on the track. That's way back in turn number 1. Cars in the back of the field. Johnny Satoff, the 96 car out of Beatrice, really got a great flying start there on the restart. But again, not one full lap.
Absolutely. It was all for nothing, apparently, because, not one full lap completed.
I think we had more contact here than we did that last time. But let's take a look at it one more time. Those are the leaders of the pack. The accident actually happens towards the back once the front runners get out of the way. You see them sliding there on that hard track, and they get out of control going high. That brought out the flag. Trying to get some numbers.
Like Dan Ripley got bumped in the back as he was going around, and it spun him around, and that caused a chain reaction there.
And look who slides through right there. It was that 6S car of Sean Dean who got into trouble on our first start.
Dan Ripley right there.
The 31R car of Dan Ripley.
Still running. But I think we're going to have our first casualty before we get our first lap.
Trying to get a number on just who that is. The 9T car exiting. Terry Shearer is headed back toward the pits. He may have had some contact and he'll have to get that car mended before he can take the track again.
Well, this is probably going to be a 15-lap feature here for us with all this action in the front.
We've got a couple of cars peeling off and going back to the pits. And that is the Darren Myers car, the $1 car.
So 6X sitting on the straightaway right in front of us. They're stalled or needing a push. It looks like he might have a flat right front tire also, so his day may be over. Yep, sure enough.
Oftentimes when you see some contact, there's some extra debris that gets out there on the track. They've got a great crew here at I80 Speedway that tries to keep the track packed down and as clean as it can possibly be. But oftentimes, just the slightest debris on a track can cause all kinds of problems to a race car.
Well, not only that, I think he was involved in the incident earlier there, and it may have punctured a tire just by hitting somebody's frame or the fender right there, the quarter